Hello, I am Amelia Young, and this is my first video discussion board. I have never been asked to do this before, but I do wish to be a teacher when I graduate, so I decided, hey, why not try it? So, I want to talk about the Metamorphosis, and in particular, magical realism, and how this is an early example of magical realism in that Gregor is Gregor seems to react almost nonchalantly to such an incredible change that happens to him. I think when we think of magical realism, and especially in transformations, such as is in the Metamorphosis, we think of such as Harry Potter. He finds out he's a wizard and he's having a sudden crisis of being, how is this so? I thought I was just the boy who lives under the stairs, and now this whole new world has opened up to me. This is amazing. This is incredible. I don't understand what's happening. If you think of the movie Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, they wake up in the wrong body, the mother and the daughter, and they are like, wow, what is going on? I have this wrinkly face. Oh, I have this young body. What is happening? And as opposed to Gregor in the Metamorphosis, who wakes up and his biggest concern is, oh my God, I'm late for work. What am I going to do? How am I going to tell my boss what happened to me and make up for the time that I've lost? And this is after he's discovered that he has the body of a giant insect. So I think that is it's strange, but in a way it kind of adds to the genre and how it is being created, in that it's magical, but it's also totally realism. It is, his concerns are the same as if he had just woken up on any other day. The only difference is he happens to have the body of an insect rather than the body of a man. And his concern is rooted in that he is the provider for his family. And if he's late for work, he might get fired. Then the debt that he owes to the debt that his father owes to his employer might not be forgiven, and his family might be further put out without him getting to work on time and providing for them. And what he finds out, watching his family from the helplessness of the insect, is that they are actually capable of taking care of themselves. And I think it's kind of, in a way, that is something that the reader is privy to, that Gregor is not privy to, is that his family is kind of taking advantage of him. Like, Gregor expresses surprise that his father is standing up straight and strongly moving about when every evening he'd been in his robe and barely able to get out of his seat. And now he's going to work and just moving about strongly as if he had never been in. So there's that. And then his sister, he has such a soft spot for his sister. I don't think he sees that she is basically a woman, and she is totally capable of going to work and providing for the family, but she didn't have to because Gregor was concerned for her and was planning on sending her to the conservatory when he got enough extra money. And so he didn't see that her easy life that he was providing for her really was kind of handicapping her. Like, she was capable of getting a job and providing for the family and working for the family and really, having a life of substance versus just a pretty little life waiting to play the piano if she would, or no, she played the violin. Yeah, anyway, waiting to play her music for frivolity. And so, yeah, he learns that he isn't needed, and they learn that he isn't needed. And it's kind of sad in that sense, because he dies in two ways. He dies to the fact that his former life, which he thought he really had to get back to because he felt like he was needed by his family, he dies knowing that they actually don't need him. And then he dies physically. And another thing that I just found really significant is how it wasn't just his body that transformed. Like, originally it was just his body, and he was even able to reply somewhat audibly to them when they questioned, hey, what's going on, are you okay? But originally it was just his body, and he was trying to make his bug body work. He couldn't get his legs to work with his mind and all of that, but he was the man, Gregor, inside a bug's body. But as the story progresses, we see him do certain little things, think certain little things that are just the thoughts of an insect. And he kind of like doesn't even know where these thoughts are coming from, why they're happening. Like, he says, had he really wanted to transform his room into a cave, a warm room fitted out with the nice furniture he had inherited, that would have let him crawl around unimpeded in any direction, but it would also have let him quickly forget his past when he had still been human. So he had felt when his sister started saying, let's move the furniture out of his room so he can crawl around more freely. At first he was like, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because I want to crawl around more freely. And then as his mother expresses her feelings about it and her reservations, he thinks, oh, wow, like, did I really want that? Did I really want to just be able to crawl around and have no hope for going back to being a man? And we see other instances of that. His desire to get into the pantry, even if he isn't hungry, he just feels that he has the right to get into the pantry and get to the food, or the food that he used to love, he just doesn't really want it and just kind of touches it and runs away. His instinct to run under the couch and get into a cramped space that he feels sort of shameful, but then he feels sort of like this is right. Those are all instances of his mind is slowly transforming to be like his body, which has overnight transformed into a bug, which is the magical aspect of this magical realism story. But I think the crux of this story is that a magical physical change can be explored in the sense of reality, and that's magical realism. And I'm interested in this genre. I'd like to explore it further. But those are my thoughts, and this has been my first video discussion board. I would welcome your thoughts and your critiques, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.